It's our second time playing this through. I think if we have a good run today, probably gonna get a banner made and throw it up on the website. If you take a glance at the deck is essentially a blue-black control deck, splashing green for the latest busted Simic card. And then we've also got a Polukranos Unchained here since we're already in green anyways. And we've got a couple of Assassin's trophies in the sideboard. This deck has a number of tools that exile to help keep up against Simic, while also having cards like Uro and Ritual of Soot that give us reasonable stabilizing power against aggro, especially post-board when we get to bring in like some Sorin Thirst and some Aether Gust. So let's dive on into some match with this one and see how it goes. A number of people told me that they had good runs with it after we played it last time, so hopefully that keeps up for us today. It's not great, but it's still not an auto loss, but that's not a good enough solution, Luna Hero. So rather than taking my bad matchup and taking it from 35% to 45% while making my deck worse in other places, I'd rather just punt my bad matchup and like make sure my other matchups are good. So I think that's a mistake a lot of people make a lot of the times with their tier 2 and tier 3 decks, is they spend so much time trying to fix matchups that they should essentially write off as being unwinnable, rather than investing resources into making sure they can win the other matchups. Much like Twitch not enforcing the music clause on their streamers, just lucky they don't enforce the 24-hour exclusivity clause either. That's a fantastic hit because it means I can get rid of this before they cast it. It is a tough pick. I think I want to just, and like getting the second discard spell pays us off here. I agree that it's close. The Ajani's the card that's just really scary though. We're gonna hopefully get a chance to teach them that this card's not very good. I disagree with you, Luna Hero. What matchup do you think that deck struggles in that Agent makes better? If your bad matchup is most represented deck of the tournament ladder, that's a reason to bin the deck. I mean, I would challenge you to prove that a given deck is most of anything. Magic data is largely incomplete and mostly anecdotal. So my favorite control deck in the standard, this one. We had a good run with this last time, and I like what this is doing. Main deck Banishing Light, maybe they're a little bit more mid-rangey or controlling than like the Devotion aggro deck we've played recently on stream. And in general, trying to metagame is often just wrong in Magic. There's good Magic formats have enough variation that playing a deck because you think it's a good metagame choice is basically always wrong, in my opinion. Wonderful. See them just like put 1/1 counters on their things here. Was that a good draw, chat? Was that a good draw? Recoil to the recess of your mind. So this card pays 3 to fight another target creature. whenever this would be dealt damage, instead remove that many counters from it. So if they don't draw a removal spell right now, this is going to start eating their board next turn. Really surprised that they just Banishing Lighted Ashiok and not the Polukranos, because they could have Banishing Lighted Polukranos and then smacked Ashiok for 1, so it couldn't bounce the Banishing Light. Feels like a bit of a mistake on their part. Does that extend to small tournaments like MCs? It's for everything. I think players often talk themselves into playing bad decks as a metagame choice, when in reality they should just be playing the good deck. And MCs really aren't... Oh, Mythic Invitationals. I guess Invitationals are the smaller tournaments. Invitationals are smaller tournaments. But like, the previous Mythic Championships, now Players Tours events, are still hundreds of players. They're not like thousands of players Grand Prix big, but they're still fairly large. Hydra does not trample. Poly K getting to flex there a little bit. Sorin's Thirst, Ritual of Soot, couple of trophies. Dreadhorde General's not very good here. I think I want some discard spells, but I don't know about all of them. I think I probably don't want 4 Intervention. I can trim an Opt, actually. We'll go 2 to 4. Seems fine. Polukranos is a Hydra. Has lots of heads, chat. Not a questing beast, lots of heads, probably Hydra. Man, I feel like Legends of Runeterra failing to really break into Twitch is really just like the final checkoff in like, there can be no more new card games. At least not ones that succeed on a large scale. Like, if Riot couldn't break into it in a meaningful way, like, there's no way small studios can at this point, or even big studios, like, they're like as big as they come, right? Easy mulligan here with no black sources. This is fine. Bottom that. Pickleball Losh, thanks to 11 months. I agree, Dalen. With Arena being a mostly reasonable digital client, the drive for others has become a little bit less. So close to 1 year. I played Standard on Friday, 4-0 with Simic Ramp. Like you said on stream a lot, my matches felt like I was playing a different format. Yeah. Yeah, yep. Big agree. Shock that in, see what they're working with here. No Heliod is good for us. They already have a Life's Bounty in place. I think I take the Pride Mate. I'm just going to leave another removal spell on top. Anecdotally, I've seen many creators say they're not interested because the game doesn't seem fun to them. Yeah, I'd believe that. I also think the Runeterra monetization model explicitly sucks for streamers. Especially if you're not interested in streaming limited. No, they're just that's just not enough, Mana Symbol. Having a good product isn't good enough. You have to have a good product, and you have to have a lot of other things go right. So I'm killing this in response here, so that way they don't gain a life when this comes into play, because they no longer have enough devotion. This is probably the best draw on their deck. I don't know that we're gonna be able to keep up with that. So, like, the problem is, like, I can kill all their creatures they have in play, but then, like, at a certain point, no, I can't even, right? So, like, the castles are gonna bury me. So, like, I need to find an Uro or a Polukranos here, so I can, like, actually close the game out. I can't just stall. Uro, Polukranos, Ashiok. Like, if Marvel DC gave their IP to a CCG, it could have a chance. I don't think I agree with that sentiment. What's it called? What was it? Was it Teppen? Wasn't Teppen a big IP? That was the thing that came out at one point. I don't even remember what IP it was, but I remember seeing the IP and being like, yeah, that's a big IP. For people that don't know game lingo, IP stands for intellectual property. Yeah, Eternal never really held my interest. Eternal felt like Fisher-Price magic. Eternal was Fisher-Price magic. Is Fisher-Price magic? Eternal still exists, right? Nothing will ever be Fisher-Price magic like Hearthstone was. I disagree. Now, in fact, I'm going to give you a 10-minute timeout. I think a lot of the criticism players lob at Hearthstone is lazy and undeserved. Anybody who thinks Hearthstone is Fisher-Price magic or related to magic in any way, I think they're just being disingenuous or they're not very bright. Those are the two options. Hearthstone's gameplay tends to be simpler than magic, and on like a direct comparison scale, but it also like doesn't have a lot of direct comparison because the game on a fundamental level is very different from magic. When I say Eternal is Fisher-Price magic, what I mean by that is Eternal card game is basically a bunch of magic professionals got together and they asked themselves the question, how do we make magic play faster and on a cell phone? Like, the game is basically magic. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it is watered down magic in a way that Hearthstone is not. I agree with that, Pickle. I also think they don't think very critically about it. Like, one thing, as someone who doesn't play much Hearthstone anymore, that a lot of people who've played both disagree with because they don't really think about it. Hearthstone is a much lower variance game than Magic, on average. Hearthstone just puts the variance in places that feel worse. Not to speak ill of the dead, but Artifact had that problem too. Artifact was incredibly low variance, but the places in the game where it loaded the variance into sucked. And it could definitely, not even definitely, it's almost certain that, like, part of the reason I enjoy Magic and the variance feels less bad is because I'm used to it. But a lot of the variance in Magic comes from the fact that, like, you just don't get to play a lot of games. A lot of your games end with one player stumbling and dying or flood and dying without any meaningful decisions inside of the actual game itself. And, like, that's a feature, it's not a bug, but it's also just, like, true of the game as a whole. My problem with Hearthstone and the reason why I stopped playing it is Hearthstone just doesn't have deck building depth in the same way Magic has deck building depth. The way the resource system in Hearthstone works really limits the combinations of cards you can put into your different decks, and I think that removes a lot of the joy in playing it for someone like myself. One of the reasons why Magic's a game I keep coming back to again and again and again is because Magic has a lot of playtime even when I'm not shuffling cards. Magic is a game where you can spend hours without ever shuffling a deck thinking about what you want to do and the way you want to build and combine different things. That's what keeps me personally coming back to Magic after all those other games. Yeah, Castle is just like running us into the dirt here, huh? I guess I keep that, right? Because I have spare mana and it's a redraw. Yeah, we're an Uro or a Polukranos away from being really in this game. Eat doesn't say surveil because they don't reuse keywords like that. I'd already used my second trophy, so the way we're gonna beat Castle is by drawing threats. Killing them is the solution to the 1-1's poking us, chat. Control players are so weird. They're like, oh no, how do I answer this thing? The answer is you don't answer it, you just kill them. Just end the game is the answer. Draw an Ashiok, draw an Uro, draw a Polukranos. Oh no! Oh no! I've not made a point to try Hearthstone Battlegrounds, even off stream, just because I really wasn't looking for another game, and like the way Blizzard handled the whole Hong Kong situation just really didn't sit right with me. So like, if I was desperate for something new, I might give it a try in spite of that, but if I'm not desperate for something new, I'd rather not. We tried a Hushbringer plus Uro deck. We've not, mostly because Hushbringer's not a good Magic card, and Uro's a great Magic card, so don't put bad Magic cards to try it with your good cards to try and make the good ones better. So, I had mentioned I started talking to contractors about trying to get my new studio space finished in this extra room in my basement. And I called 3 contractors. 2 of them actually, all 3 of them said they were going to come give me quotes. 2 of them actually came out to give me quotes. The third one just didn't return my call. The one of the 2 that actually came to look at the room responded and told me they have a quote for me, but then I've been playing phone tag with them for like the last week trying to set something up, and apparently they want to give me like a presentation. They want me to come into their office at like 9 a.m. on a Tuesday. I was like, I don't want to take off work to give me a quote, so hopefully they're going to email me something. Otherwise I have to start calling other places. Every time I interact with small businesses, I just marvel at the fact that they're able to stay in business. I just don't understand. Like, as a millennial who generally purchases things on the internet, it's just so easy and convenient. I just want to give someone money and have them finish my office. It's all I want to do. Do you own a construction company in Central Illinois, Scottish Reaver? If you do, you should send me a message that finishes single rooms in residential homes. I mean, the one that actually called me back has a lot of good reviews. Other people have nothing but good things to say about them. And they are a little bit on the expensive side, but their reviews also seem like it justifies them being a little bit more expensive. I just want to, like, just tell me how much. Oh, and then the other part was the company that wants to give me a proposal. They're like, oh, the next time slot we have to give someone a proposal is February 18th. And I'm just like, I've been trying to call you for a week to like get on your schedule. I don't want to wait another 2 weeks for you to finally tell me what you want to do and how much it's going to cost. Like, why can't this be an email? My business crushes it by showing up on time a lot. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. That one's gotta go, right? I think I grab Island here, so this way I can Intervention plus Scorn. Hey, Finchoid, thank you for the brand new tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome to Hoaglandia. Thanks for keeping me around. I'm looking for someone to finish a room in my basement that is currently unfinished into basically a recording studio space to stream from. I want the room soundproof, and I want it to not echo like a bedroom when I'm streaming in it. All right, so if I fetch with this, we can escape Uro. Twitter's great, Camel. That's actually super unfortunate because, oh no, wait, the way this works, so I can trophy this in response. I was gonna say, if I trophy it, this comes back and it dies, but the way these cards are templated now, if you trophy it in response to the trigger, my thing never leaves the battlefield. Perfect. Well then. Don't take off work, just stream the presentation. You know, that's not the worst idea I've heard. I mean, like, I said soundproofing, but obviously, like, I don't expect, like, a bomb to be able to go off upstairs and not hear it. I would just like someone to be able to walk on the floor above me and not hear it. I'd like to not hear someone in my living room. Sound resistant, yeah, don't actually me, Twitch chat. So we'll keep the other one, because this one's going away. Anyways, do I Ritual of Soot this board? I feel like I'm not supposed to. I'm gonna hang tight for now. Sound dampened, there you go. Sure. Now, this Heliod being a creature means if they tap off of the bounty, I could... But they tap off of the bounty, I could eat to Extinction the Heliod. Sound deadening. There you go. Deadening's a good term. And like, I know it's not gonna be cheap. Like when I told the guy what I wanted, he told me it was probably cost at least twice what just finishing the room with drywall and stuff was going to cost. think Uro is an okay power level. I don't know. So there's 2 cards in the bin. If I soot, that's 3. I think I'm just Murderous Ridering this turn. Just hanging tight for now. Gonna sit on this ritual for the time being. This doesn't die. Anyways, I think I'm just Murderous Ridering here again. I think I need Uro to draw me some more gas before I can Ritual of Soot. Sure. So we'll cast this out again just because it replaces itself. Gosh, maybe I want another Polukranos in this deck. Gains lifelink, gains indestructible. Yep. That's a wild one. Okay, so we'll block here. Now we have to pull the trigger on Ritual of Soot. So we'll attack with Uro next turn, Ritual of Soot to clear these out, and then we'll Murderous Rider this one before they can give it indestructible. So, in this deck in particular, I think of Polukranos as the 5th, it's the 5th escape card, is the best way to think about it. So, I'm not playing 1 Polukranos, I'm playing 5 escape cards, if that makes sense. And this is something that comes up very frequently, especially when you have cards with very similar roles. So like, don't think of it as playing one-ofs. Think of it as playing extra copies of similar effects. Prof. Dr. Mr. P, thank you for the 13 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. This is not dying to Ritual of Soot anyways, because it costs 4, so we'll Murderous Rider it in response to this trigger. So we just gotta hope they don't draw another Resolute Rider to turn Heliod on here. Just a healer squawk deal. Hey, Paxis, thanks for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome to Hooglandia. Hope you're having a good one wherever you're at. So let's do this. And then we'll do this. Hey, thank you for the half of your support, Dabo. Hope you're having a good one wherever you are. Anyone have this opponent's deck list? It looks very similar to the white Devotion aggro deck we played a bunch of on stream, except they're playing Resolute Rider, which seems like a neat addition for these grindy matchups. I like having a single card that turns on Heliod. Like, obviously we were able to outgrind it there a little bit, but Uro's known to do that. Shue! Thanks for re-upping for the second month. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Yeah, it's definitely not a card I'd considered before. Yeah, they have Purifying Light post board as well. That's a good call. Also another fine sideboard card. Yeah, but Arcanus Owl is one that we've seen some of in Pioneer. It's hard to make your standard decks hit with that card enough at the time. Looking for black sources. Uro gives us more draws at lands, which is nice. Perfect. Looks like we could be playing against control. Ringing. I think that's the toilet bowl in the bathroom above me filling back up. Things like that. We were talking about sound deadening. Those are the types of sounds we would like to deaden. That's definitely if I pull my headset off, I can hear it. It is water turning into a toilet bowl. Or the tank in the back, more specifically. Actually. I think I lead on this rather than Uro since we drew it. I mean, it's very white noisy and not that loud, so like, if you don't hear it, I'm not surprised, especially with the arena music going as well. I've also had issues with that toilet. I think I need to replace the gasket in the back of it, because it doesn't always seal back down, and sometimes it just runs. So like, if it keeps running, I might run upstairs and jiggle the thing and make sure it plopped back down. Very real chance it didn't. I think we just Ashiok and start making 2/3s, right?
The regrets of it are delightfully friendly.
Together we can exact justice.
Sounds like it stopped. That's just an old slow toilet. Wow, they just let that happen. Okay. Really? Oh, I guess I should have tapped in a way that let me leave Tyrant Scorn up, huh? Yeah, I should have tapped it away there and let me leave Tyrant Scorn up. That was a mistake. They have 5 cards in their bin. This escapes for 4. Yeah, 10 out of 10 should have only tapped 2 black there.
You show remorse, I'll show.
Worlds players will draft in paper and then play the games on Arena. Tell me you're lying to me. Please tell me you're lying to me. Please tell me you're lying to me. Yeah, I need a source on that one.
All your fears are given form.
I mean, to be fair, actually, okay. So we should be, you could be kind of excited for this, and here's why, chat. The fact that that's going to be possible means that you'll be able to do direct challenge with 40 card deck lists, and what that means is you will be able to have someone create a third-party cube website. Yeah, you get a third-party cube website. There's a Shillsville for it. If you look in the raid channel description on Discord, there's a link that has the exact name. Yes, yeah, by BT Dubs, Ashiok bouncing tokens is great because it still ones for ones them. No, I don't think that solves our problems, Industrious. So if you understand how these matchups play out in a way where Dream Trawler's the card you care about, and Elspeth Liliana directly answers Dream Trawlers. What's a cube? A cube is a custom limited format. Is a limited format where you have cards from ranges of sets that usually have themes that work across sets. All right, so I think I want my trophies. I don't know if I want riders and eats. I think I just want eats. Narset notably can't find riders, so it makes it a little bit worse. Is this a Disdainful Stroke matchup? I feel like it's not, right? They have, I guess this tags Dream Trawler. Yeah, I probably want that for Dream Trawler. It tags the Saga too? Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're right. Alright, let's do it. Oh, maybe Polyk's a cut here? Nah, Polyk's fighting against Dream Trawler too. Sorry, I wanted to tweet about just how silly their proposed world setup is. It's real silly. All right, so it's important to lead on Agonizing Remorse here because Agonizing Remorse doesn't get Mystic disputed. They're drafting in paper, and then they're playing the games out on Arena. I did not stutter. You heard that correctly. So they will draft in paper, and then import the deck list into Magic Arena for the actual games. This was an incredibly good draw. Hopefully we can find the Neat to Extinction or a trophy. Another Erasure. I think I'd rather have Dreadhorde General. The nice thing about intervention is intervention isn't just a dead draw. Yeah, I'm gonna bottom that. Or bin that. Fill my graveyard up for later. For the record, playing games out on Magic Arena is ideal. Having players draft in paper is not ideal. Just so my position here is abundantly clear. Playing more games on Arena is great. What could possibly be the reason for that? Arena doesn't support 8-player pod drafting. They can't do the drafting in Arena because Arena's not a functional piece of software in terms of the features it needs to have. This was a very good draw because they're gonna get to kill Narset, so taking away Gadwick here is great. Do you ever play tabletop RPGs? I've not played a tabletop RPG since undergrad. Last time we played, I was still playing D&D 3.5. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and cast Intervention as a draw 2 here. Since they have Teferi out and this isn't doing anything else, might as well use my mana. Well, I didn't see your question before, but I saw this message, so if you would have just asked your question again, I would have seen it this time and answered it. How much for me to play blue-white in Standard for 4 hours? For you, Justin, what's a number I can actually give you? I don't know. It's got to be 200 or more. Blue-white's real tedious. Boros was fine. I liked one of the new cards. I didn't like some of the other cards that were included with it. How was your day? Any particularly fun decks? I like this one. I think it's my favorite control deck in the format.
I've got it.
4 hours is like 2 games. Chat, you get 1 match per hour. 4 hours is 4 matches. Come on now. Come on now. Think we'll make it to Red Black Aristocrats. Yeah, I started late today, so I plan to run late today. We will definitely be playing Red Black Aristocrats. If the viewer count keeps going up, we're gonna play more than just the Aristocrats. We have 1 more deck loaded up for after that. If we keep accruing viewers, we'll see. We might just die to this castle.
I've got time.
Oh, the top of their deck's been really hot. Kind of surprised they didn't just hit us for 6 here. Or just did. It's unfortunate. What's the deck after Red Black? I don't know. What's the deck you say? Esper midrange. Esper Thassa. I don't think I want Soot here. Did I notice a spike in standard submissions? To set a low bar, we've had a lot more standard submissions after Theros than we had with Eldraine. With Eldraine, the standard queue actually hit 0 decks in it for the first time since I started streaming standard. Did I just click the wrong button? I might have just chosen to go second. Of all the matches I could choose to go second in, this is probably the least detrimental. We'll see. Could be real bad. With Hand with Thassa's intervention could be real bad. I've got 2 discard spells though, so we'll see. It's a control mirror, chat. Control mirrors are about card advantage, right? Just wanted to draw the extra card. Was calculated. Definitely not a misclick. Wait, Worlds Draft will be best of one? Okay, now that part's a lie, right? Where did that come from? I'm gonna really need a source on that one. Twitch chat would never lie to me. Sounds like something Twitch chat would say. All right, do I counter Teferi or do I draw two? I think I just want to draw two, honestly.
I know my responsibility.
If Twitch chat believes the lie, is it really a lie? I mean, to be fair, that's the defense Donald Trump's lawyers used, right? He didn't realize it was wrong or whatever.
Just the trick for this.
If it's good enough for the president, it's certainly good enough for Twitch chat.
No, I am not making this up as I go.
Meditate and prepare.
Perfect. Let's grab another swamp here. There were a lot of bad arguments made, Tobias. I think that's fine. Probably gonna trophy this when it tries to kill my Narset. Feels a little bit bad because they've been missing land drops, but hopefully they just go like, get their land, play Dream Trawler here, and we just like Liliana and Edict them, which would be ideal. Man, where are my Uros at? We've been really bad at drawing Uro today. There's like 23 cards into my deck without one at this point.
Stand by and watch. That's more like it.
Feels magic, man. Feels magic, man.
Trust me, I have a plan.
Can I get a flavor judge ruling on this one? I feel like I need a flavor judge ruling on this one. Anyone? Bueller?
I'll protect you.
This actually works out really well. Because, like, now I get to do this, kill their two threats.
This isn't your average zombie
And, like, they don't have a lot else going on here, right? So even though our hand is crap, like, if we draw an Uro, we can, like, Uro our way through their counterspell. Which is nice. I wouldn't be surprised to see them cash this in to draw a card at this point. Am I going to co-stream Worlds? Nah, probably not. Yeah, I agree. This card removes most of the interesting parts of Control Mirrors. It is boring and unfun. A lot of the intricacies of these matches are just rendered irrelevant by the fact that this card exists.
This might be a bad idea.
My presence alone lies beyond vision.
Yeah, Dovin's Veto also removes a lot of the interesting parts of these games. I agree with that. This leaves me 6 mana. Hey, Benevolence. Thanks for the Prime sub. I appreciate that. Their opponent playing the old Planner Cleansing Ashiok Erasure combo deck here. Take my Prime Bucks. Got to play the Vanillist at a paper tournament. It was fun. Hey, I'm glad you're enjoying it, Jerome. Thanks for the 9 months. Welcome back.
Mind and keep an open mind.
This thing takes 6 to escape. That's a lot of resources. Still have 12 in there at least, I guess. I just saw your tweet about drafting and wanted to tell you your liability was showing. Thanks for the biddies.
Trust me, I have a plan.
With thoughtfulness before action.
Narset, like, while Narset doesn't seem annoying at the moment, she actually cuts off a lot of our outs here. Because Uro was one of the better cards I could draw, and while Narset's in play, that's no longer true. Okay. So this is gonna get exiled by decree, I guess, but I get to kill Giant Eater at least. Gosh, if this card could fight Planeswalkers, it would be so good. It's like fine as it is right now, but it would be much better for sure. Alright, I think I'm actually gonna eat Narset here. Wonder how Otzi feels about that storyline. Lewd. That's pretty good. Waiting on an Uro.
The undead make great minions. Loyal, smelly, but effective.
We also just like haven't seen any of our castles this game either. Yeah, I think my initial instinct that I shouldn't have boarded in Disdainful Stroke was correct. They just have Teferi in play so much of the time that like drawing a counterspell like this Just feels real bad. Friendo. What's this card? Does this card get rid of Liliana? I mean, I'm through... Are there really only 21 cards in my deck? Are you kidding me, Magic Arena? Are you kidding me? We're through 39 cards without a flipping Uro. Never forget, chat. The Shufflers is rigged as the earth is flat. Wake up, sheeple. Wake up.
I've got time.
How uncivilized. Good help is easy to find in war.
Now a real question might be, can I kill them without decking? I might have a hard time killing them without decking. Excuse me?
They were a lousy servant anyway.
All right, sure. No, I boarded out Murderous Rider, actually.
No, I am not making this up as I go.
Their deck has a lot more cards in it than our deck. Oh, that's true. If we could stick this Ashiok. I think this is my last Ashiok, though, too, right? No, is it only my second? My first one? There's another Ashiok in my deck. Yeah, maybe Ashiok tokens can drag us across the finish line. Wargy, you have 61 timeouts. Now you have 62. Okay.
That's more like it.
Wow, I'm kind of surprised they just did that.
There is little as terror lurks among us.
Hey, this draw will put us to 9 cards in my deck. They have 18 cards in their deck. Every time these attack or block, they exile 2 cards. We need Nexus of Fate, something like that. Yeah, attacking with Uro is not ideal at this point. It took us so long to find Uro, like... Pay 6 to draw. Yeah, maybe. And like, normally these games don't play out this way. The only reason they're playing out this way here is because it took us, you know, we didn't find our first Uro till there were only, you know, 20 cards left in our deck. And like, they exiled our Polukranos. Can't gift Bernie. Someone already gifted Bernie a sub. Is why you can't. Yeah, I was really surprised they didn't bounce the Nightmare. 14 cards left in their deck. Am I out of cards in here? I am. Awkward.
Creeping, thieving progeny.
Is there an Assassin's Trophy left in my deck? There's not. There's 1 eat. There's 2 eats. There's an eat to Extinction left in my deck. Do I want to use Thassa's intervention to hit eat so I can eat this and then have Disdainful Stroke up here? I feel like the answer to that question is yes. So I want 6 mana left over when all's said and done. So this is 3 and 3. So we'll do this for X's 5. There's 7 cards in my deck right now. And we know that one. And these are the 5 we're looking at. They had veto anyways, deal. So the opt didn't work because I left exactly enough mana there. So I couldn't opt, kill Teferi, and hold up Stroke.
I'll protect you.
Their cards in exile don't do anything, right? I'd actually just rather make a 2/3 that exiles their stuff. I'm pretty sure. Hit 13 cards in their deck. Pretty sure this is what the game's about. Yeah, face up, opponent's control. Nah, I think I'd rather keep the other Ashiok in my hand for now. There's 5 cards in my deck. There's 12 cards in theirs. How's clock damage? This is game 3, and we're both above 12 minutes, so this game's gonna come to a natural conclusion. Should have let it resolve. Get out of here.
All your fears are given for.
Justin, I don't want them to be able to block my nightmare tokens. Hopefully there just aren't answers left in their deck. 4 cards in our deck, 10 cards in theirs. They just bottomed up. Yeah, the overlay doesn't show deck counts. They're at 9, I'm at 4. How long has this match been? Like 40 minutes? Yeah, we've each used, I've used 15 minutes, they've used almost 20. All right, and then this almost takes me into the lead in terms of deck counts. Yeah, they really don't have anything good in Exile. They have 4 cards in their deck, chat. I think I'd rather just use this to make another friend and then attack with my 2 friends and exile their deck. If I get to attack here, they lose the game. Alright, their deck is empty. They have 4 cards. What a grinding game of Magic. As pretty good. Goodbye, friends. Ain't need no Uro to win the game, chat. Uro's just a big old liability. He wants to draw us cards. He wants to draw us some cards. All right. This one's going on the website. What cards do we want for this one? New Ashiok. Uro. New Ashiok. Uro. What's the third? What's the third after it? New Ashiok, Uro. Someone give me one more card. What do we think? What do we think is a key card? Is it like Thought Erasure? It could be E. It's probably just Thought Erasure, right? This is probably the third card that's like, this is what this deck is doing. Yeah, Intervention, Thought Erasure, those are 4 ofs. I'm gonna put Thought Erasure on it. I mean, Intervention's gonna go in every blue deck too. To be fair. Perfect. Now, Polycase, I don't just like to put cards that are like unique in the picture. I like to put cards that represent what the deck is accomplishing. And I definitely think like Polycase just like an extra afterthought as a 5th escape card, more so than like a core part of what we're doing. How's it going, Goldie? My art guy, when I message him on Facebook because I'm watching, I'm already working on it. Excellent. Alright, so what's the play here? Is it just Risen Reef? Can I take the Risen Reef and hope to win before the rest of this happens? I feel like that's the plan. Yeah, I'm in for that. There's been less Simic. So Agonizing Remorse is much better against Simic. There's been less Simic on the ladder than there once was. Like, obviously we're playing against it now, but like there's been a lot of mono red, and like Thought Erasure is much better against mono red than Agonizing Remorse is. And like, we can kill the Nissa later. Hopefully we draw another discard spell to deal with Agent before they get there. Camel Drags, thanks for the 2 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Alright, so 4 cards in my bin. If I eat this and surveil a card into my bin, I can bring this back next turn, which I think is the line. It might also be wrong, and maybe I'm just supposed to 1-for-1 Ritual of Soot here. But like, the appeal of getting to do this guaranteed next turn is high. And like, I still have Murderous Rider to clean up Nissa. The downside here is that like, putting the Uro into play next turn makes playing the Ritual of Soot a lot less appealing. And that's perfect, because it lets me counter the Agent down the line, which is wonderful. I don't know, we were in Mythic like around the top 1200 last month, and we played against like a lot of mono red in the top 1200. Opponent missed their land drop, we put a threat into play. Sounds about right. Extra Soot sounds great, Gust sounds good, Stroke sounds good, Liliana is not good here. What are my trims? Probably just Opt. It's mostly a filler card. I want Narset too. Yeah, good call. What do we think of this plan? I think I like it. Yeah, maybe Polycay's not good enough. I could see that. Leave a piece of filler in. You want Trophy? Yeah, I guess Trophy's fine. Cleans up Nissa. You have very little removal for Risen Reef now. I have 4 Ritual of Soots. I have 7 discard spells. I don't know that I really like Trophy in this matchup. I'm just going to keep the Opt. Trophy is mostly in my sideboard for Embercleave. I have like 3 or 4 done. Blue. We just started on blue today. Yeah, ramping them is not ideal. Like this hand's fine. Hand is very reasonable. Did I try Mana Strike? I've not. Raid's basically consumed all of my mobile gaming hours. Yeah, I'm in for that. We get Erasure here, kind of get a lay of the land that we can Ritual of Soot, clean up next turn. Every time that card hits a land, it's just so infuriating. I guess I have to take Cavalier Thorns here, huh? And then I have to hope to find the answer to Shifting Ceratops. Nah, I think you're just being hindsight's 2020 there, Esper. I think getting the tap land guaranteed into play is ideal. It only sees one less card, and it potentially generates important tempo later on. Alright, so we're gonna take Shifting Ceratops here. They only have 2 cards in their bin so far, so they're still pretty far off of bringing back the Titan. Does get to replace himself out of their hand, though. Yes, Ritual of Soot is very good in this style of matchup, for sure. Mystic Dispute costs 3 to counter this. Let's just wipe out Risen Reef before it gets to draw another card. This does bring them up to 5 cards in their bin, though, is something to worry about potentially. So if they have like a Growth Spiral here, they could potentially like Growth Spiral land. They could put Uro into play this turn. Getting Narset down next turn makes their Uros a lot less scary. Narset, this is the matchup Narset's in the board for. This is the control matchup. She makes their Krasis and Uros much, much worse. Second Risen Reef, sure. I'm going to lead on this. I'm going to down tick her once, but I don't think I'm going to down tick her a second time.
I have practiced to hone your prowess.
Perfect. Wow, just packs it in. With Nissa, and I feel like that was premature from the opponent. With like Nissa, Ceratops, and Uro in the bin, I feel like they're still in that game. Maybe they were just at their rank floor and they just didn't care. I love that they keep rotating the players on the banner. This is really good. I hope we see more of this. Really, Arena needs more things to link it up with the rest of Magic. Arena needs to not feel like a separate product. It needs to feel like a supplemental product that's part of the entire Magic ecosystem. Integrations like that are good. How's the deck going? It's been good. I'm gonna add this one up to the website either tonight or tomorrow when I get time. My art guy just sent me stuff over to do so. Yeah, let's keep this. We'll bottom a land. We'll go Scry land on 1, untapped land, discard spell, Scry land on 3. Elspeth Nightmares, a consideration instead of Sorin's Thirst for sideboard games because it hits similar creatures. No, they're not. One, I don't think that card's good against Simic. 2, I already have enough cards to board in against Simic. 3, that card, Elspeth's Nightmare, is nowhere near as good in the mono-red matchup as Sorin's Thirst is. Alright, so I take their second Fervent Champion here. We're going to keep that because it gains 3 life. We're going to Agonizing Remorse this Dorko, and we'll play Polukranos on 4. It's very possible we want a second Poly K in here. Seems really good in the red matchup here. Opponent mulligan super low this game, obviously, but gonna file that one under not our problem. I mean, when was the last time Grixis was playable? Does anybody know? Alright, well, we've got some tracts of land. That makes Uro the 3rd card in my bin. There's a little bit more things to trade with. Erasure's actually fine because it's a mill too. And then Polukranos will let me fight, and Polukranos, actually, I get to go block the 3-1, fight a 1-1 this turn. So they made a small mistake here. They should have pumped before blockers, because then I couldn't do this. They would have pumped before blockers, so super relevant mistake there on the opponent's part. Get to go ahead and escape this, and the game is ended. Yeah, probably war game. Good clean living there on our part. Sorin's Thirst and Ritual of Soot sound great. Trophy sounds fine. Gust sounds fine. Trimming Liliana. Trimming Eat to Extinction. Trimming Agonizing Remorse. Trimming an Opt. Maybe I don't want Thassa's Intervention. Maybe I want to split the difference here on Extinction and Thassa's Intervention. Oh. Yeah, you're right, Empty Hex. Yeah, it was irrelevant. I'm always impressed by the ability to pick up a random deck and play it well. I struggle to play even linear decks like blue-green ramp effectively. Yeah, I mean, I'm good. I'm okay at my job. Probably wouldn't be here if I couldn't do that. Somebody in Discord recommended swapping Opt for Seordain. Disagree. Opt is much better than Seordain in this deck because Seordain takes 5 mana to get into your discard pile, whereas Opt gets there for 1 mana, and because our deck cares about escaping, it makes Opt much better. That efficiency of getting it into the bin is super relevant. This hand's a little bit speculative. It needs a second black source. I'm hoping that we can both find the second black source and that the life gain from Uro can bridge us into Ritual of Soot, being good enough. Hey, Kaylin, thank you for the brand new Prime support. There's a lot of great people. You can chip those Bezo bucks to every single month here on Twitch. Thanks for sending them my way this month and keeping me employed. That's pretty scary. That's really scary. Okay, so now... So this lets them cast all of those cards. Oh, is that new? I feel like it didn't used to pull them up when you moused over this. That's really good. God, there are so many little things about the arena interface like that are just so well done. So I don't want to get Thought Erasure now. So I think I just Sorin's Thirst here and enter combat. And I think we're actually just dead here. I think our hand just ends up being a little bit too slow on the draw. Their curve was very good. Because even if I Soot, these make tokens and then we die. I think we should have shocked on 2 to Thirst. Maybe. I don't know. Kind of feel like that didn't really matter. We're still mostly dead there. Soot not being a card that kills Torbrand, super relevant. Well, this is about as good as we get, huh? Bottom of land here. Good to have you here, Kaylin. I think I just do this and then plan to Soot next turn. And now, because I already have double black, I actually have 2 of each of my colors, I want to fetch a non-swamp with this. Because, what's the word that I'm searching for? Swamp doesn't escape back Uro. And now, this Ritual of Soot just got a little bit worse because they do have, Atrix here, which is going to let their thing, or Annex here, which is going to let them make a couple of 1/1s, but I have the second ritual to clean those up, so like not super worried about it. Hoping to dodge Torbrand here, ideally. This only hits creatures, unfortunately. I've got 4 cards in my bin. I'm going to do this. They're like going to play a Torbrand next turn. I'm going to be sad. This is 5 cards in my bin. So if I Tyrant Scorn next turn, I can escape Uro. But I probably don't want to escape Uro till after I Ritual, right? Yeah, if they have Torbrand, I can Scorn the Torbrand back to their hand. That is accurate. Okay, so we're going to 14 here. This point of damage leaves us at a virtual 13. Light them up. They're on fire. Would you like to play around the second ritual? They're probably supposed to. I would love it if they didn't. I think I shocked to 9 here, so I can Scorn. Untap Black Source is nice. Want to be able to stop this before it hits me. Sequencing mistake here on the opponent's part. Definitely should play this first. Yes, standard build rounds are 25 Wargy, that is correct. Okay. Hopefully they don't like a Cronin War me. If they don't have a threaten effect here, we're in a pretty good spot with Uro out. You ever think about turning off sub-only chat sometimes to just remind yourself? I, fortunately, do not feel the desire to touch the stove to remind myself that the fire is hot. So that's not a thing that I feel like I need to do on occasion. I know the stove is hot just by looking at it. I guess I have to do this and hit a removal spell. Is that one good enough? It is, right? So I get to go block here, kill this, take 2. Put it towards Jun Stompy with Pelt Collector and Big Dumb Stupid. Sounds good, Wargy. Thanks for keeping me around. Brick! Brick! For fuck's sake. It's exactly lethal. Tilt. It's fine. We're at a free roll match, right? Let's play one more. I like this deck. Let's play one more. That's why I like the amount of respect you should have for mono red is low, because like even when you respect mono red, they're still just gonna get you sometimes. Still just gonna kill you sometimes. But Epic Downfall to be really good right now. I don't know. Sorcery Speed is like so awkward. Like, Sorcery Speed is like real awkward. I'd argue that was the biggest brick in their deck because it broke our window. Touche, salesman. Touche. To the actual answer about opening up my Twitch chat on occasion to remember, I actually frequently watch other people stream, and watching other people stream is just like more than enough reminder seeing what some of those people put up with. Those people need to have a little bit more self-respect. You know, maybe I'm supposed to shock this land in, actually. So that way if I draw an untapped non-black land that doesn't hurt me, I can Murderous Rider. That's probably what I'm supposed to do. So they mulliganed low here. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Just super punished. So could have not shocked that in. So I'm going to Rider this in response. Because Daxos says when things die, you also gain a life. So they're going to Life's Bounty to protect this. But this way it doesn't get bigger. Life's Bounty protecting that also means I don't lose 2 life, which is nice. So I'm going to go to 6 here. And we're going to go ahead and gobble up the Pride Bait. Huh? How greedy is it to keep that? I get to Uro next turn. I'm probably supposed to. Yeah, I have Liliana already. Let's just hit our land drops. If I hit land next turn, we get to go Uro Scorn. Well then. Would have regretted keeping it. Confirmed. Land. Land. Alright, if we hit an untapped land next turn, Liliana gets to eat the Hawks. Survey says... Well, the good news is I can kill their board for a while, so that's not a real threat. And like Liliana races the castle nicely.
I am the master here. Death never hurt
Yeah,
anyone.
squawks are dead. Uro's coming back. Yeah, he is. That's so weird, chat. We drew an Uro in the top third of our deck. Seems great. Looking for like Thassa's intervention at this point, but honestly, we're pretty far ahead now. Yeah, the blue-white matchup was. To be fair, because we didn't hit Uro for so long in that third game, it was kind of a work of art, huh? Shazpa, thank you for the 2 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Why does this card gain life? Who thought that was a line that this card needed? Why is that a thing? But really, why is it a thing? Alright, what do we think of this? Because the red-black one took life? Yeah, I guess. The red-black one doesn't always take life. I think this is fine. I think this is the plan. This is a brilliant standard format. I'm excited for every deck in the Q4. Thanks for the 10 months, Chuck. I agree. Theros took this format and flipped it on its head in the most pleasant way. It's like the opposite of War of the Spark, which took the format and flipped it on its head in the most unpleasant way. You love to see it. I really want to draw a dual land on one. Mana's a little awkward, but I think the hand's keepable. YOLO Swaggins. Greed. 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 Oh, yeah. Just like we drew it up, chat. Just like we drew it up. Yikes. Yikes. Well... What if I take the Pride Mate and hope they brick? Yeah, I think it's take Pride Mate and hope they miss for a turn. Survey says hashtag sometimes lucky. Hashtag sometimes lucky. Passage first doesn't matter, Brad, because I have a 4th land lined up already. So if I want to keep the Surveil, I just won't use the Passage, then it'll still be untapped next turn, because I'll have 4 lands in play. I think it's just Gideon. Nice thoughts you got over there. It'd be a shame if something were to happen to them, don't you think about it? I can't... Yeah, my mana's actually super awkward here. Like, I needed to get green. Like, honestly, if they hit a land 2, we're in trouble still. Thirsty boy. Unfortunately, we don't gain life here because they're going to give it protection. So we're staying at 8, but we did take one of their things out of play, so we got that going for us. Maybe I'm supposed to target this, so that way if they don't know. Oh, Poly K, baby! Poly K, baby! I can't wait till their upkeep because there's a Tithe Taker in play. Cloudy with the side of soot, chat. Cloudy with the side of soot. The auto tapper had to tap all my blue. Yeah, they found a land, but at this point I'm not sure it really matters. I think we're far enough ahead with the ritual drawn here. Go take out the trash. Yeah, I feel you, opponent. I feel you. Yeah, this is definitely my favorite control deck in the format. I kind of feel like I want another Poly K. I don't really know what I want to cut offhand, though. Maybe it's just opt. Is that the cut? How many lands are this? Are there 27 lands? There's 27 lands. I could probably cut opt, huh? I guess that's also like trimming filler for another card. Like, I feel like I want one more win condition, is the thing. I feel like I want one more win condition, and opt is just filler. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Poly K's overperformed. I want like an eighth or ninth threat. This is like a threat. So I think that's the one change I'm gonna make after playing that set. I know we died pretty horribly to mono red, but I don't know that I'd really change anything because of that. I think if we run a little bit better, we probably end up better off there. Poly K is also like very good against mono red, so like adding a second copy of him is a decent way to hedge that a small bit, I think. All right, so what are we doing next? Okay, so at the very least, we're gonna play some red-black aristocrats. So I'm gonna hit a quick ad roll, and when we get back, we are gonna give a try to some red-black aristocrats featuring Kroxa and Ashiok Dreamrender as a way to enable it. So back in just a few, folks. Don't go anywhere. Thanks for hanging out.